Today on the show, a startup has unveiled their third-generation humanoid robot. There's an AI startup that just raised $2 billion to build open-source superintelligent AI. MIT Media Lab has a prototype AI tutor that adapts its replies based off your brainwaves. All that and other stories on today's New Tech Nightly, recorded taped to live from the Big Pink Building in beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. Let's get into the news. In a milestone for humanoid robots, the startup Figure AI has unveiled its third-generation humanoid robot named Figure 03. This life-sized machine is designed as a general-purpose helper that can perform human-like tasks, from lifting warehouse goods to eventually folding laundry and loading dishwashers at home. And they've already showed demos of that working, but obviously those are just demos. This isn't a robot out in homes doing that quite yet, at least not on a broad scale. Figure 03 is built around the company's proprietary AI system called Helix and features a ground-up redesign in both hardware and software to make it smarter, safer, and easier to produce than earlier models. Its new design is clearly geared for working safely around people at home. Its body is covered in soft textiles with foam padding to prevent accidental pinches or bumps, and the robot's weight has also been trimmed by nearly 10% compared to the previous model, helping it move more easily through household spaces. It even charges itself wirelessly by stepping onto a floor pad, so it can autonomously dock and top up its batteries throughout the day. Perhaps most striking are Figure's new hands. Each hand has built-in cameras and ultra-sensitive fingertip sensors, allowing the bot to see what it's gripping and to detect even a few grams of pressure, which means it can grasp fragile objects and sense slips before they happen. This unveiling comes amid a renewed race to develop humanoid robots. Figure faces rivals like Tesla's Optimus and other entrants, but it hopes it can focus on practical home use that will set it apart. The company certainly has support. It recently secured a $1 billion investment at a whopping $39 billion valuation and backed by Nvidia, Jeff Bezos, OpenAI, Microsoft, and others. Figure has even built a dedicated factory to mass produce its bots, aiming to build up 12,000 units per year initially, and as many as 100,000 over 4 years if demand increases. Now, for all this fanfare, this new Figure 03 isn't quite ready to take over your chores just yet. Even the company acknowledges the robot still needs more development and real-world testing before it's truly useful in homes. But if they live up to even part of the hype, it could mark the start of personal robots moving from science fiction into everyday life. Our next story, Google has launched the Gemini Enterprise AI platform for work. They're aiming to put AI and agentic workflows into every employee's toolkit, and they announced that just today, designed as a one-stop front door for AI in the workplace, letting companies build and deploy custom AI chatbots that can autonomously handle tasks across departments. Google already has some big-name early adopters, including design software maker Figma, fintech firm Klarna, and even Virgin Voyages, a cruise line that has over 50 AI agents running on its system to automate shipboard tasks. Employees can interact with a Gemini-powered chatbot that securely connects to their work data, from Google Workplace emails and documents to Microsoft 365 files and Salesforce records. And in practice, that means a worker could type a query and have AI instantly pull answers from internal reports, draft an email response, or other tasks. Google has also introduced a no-code AI workbench so non-engineers can create their own mini-agents or set up automations. All of these AI agents can be monitored and managed centrally by the company, addressing concerns about security and compliance. But this new service will not come cheap. Google says the standard Gemini Enterprise plans will cost $30 per user per month on annual contracts. And it's also offering a lighter weight Gemini Business Edition at $21 per user per month for smaller firms or team departments. While that pricing is on par with other premium workplace software, it shows Google is confident companies will pay for powerful in-house AI capabilities. With Gemini Enterprise, Google is effectively answering rival efforts like OpenAI's ChatGPT Enterprise and Microsoft's Copilot. A Google Cloud executive said that the goal is to bring AI to everyone at work by providing giving people a single, secure hub to chat with their company's data in autonomous tasks. It remains to be seen how quickly businesses embrace these tools, but Google's move underscores a broader trend. AI isn't just a consumer plaything, it's becoming an everyday office colleague, one that, if goes well, could save time and boost productivity across organizations. Our next story is pretty interesting. Researchers at MIT's Media Lab have created a prototype AI tutor that adapts its replies based on your brainwaves. The system, called NeuroChat, pairs a generative AI chatbot with a lightweight EEG headband to measure a user's real-time mental engagement during a learning task. If your attention starts to wane or you seem confused, NeuroChat dynamically adjusts its teaching style, changing the complexity of its explanations, its tone, or the pacing of the conversation to re-engage you and match your cognitive state. Now, to be clear, this is not mind reading of specific thoughts. It's tracking broad brain signal patterns related to focus, not decoding your inner monologue. And it works with consumer-grade equipment. The team used a simple Muse EEG headset, with all the signal processing running through a normal web browser, showing that the setup could be feasible outside a lab environment. According to their pilot study with 24 students, the students felt more attentive and felt more involved when the AI was responding to their mental state. However, this added engagement did not immediately translate into better test performance or retention of the material. Learning outcomes were about the same as with a regular chatbot, at least in the short term. This suggests that while NeuroChat can tune into a user's mind and keep them interested, more work is needed to prove it can actually boost learning effectiveness. Still, the experiment is a striking proof of concept for brain-adaptive AI. It demonstrates that an AI tutor can close the feedback loop with a learner, sensing in real time whether it's losing someone's attention, and then adjusting on the fly. The MIT team notes that some participants who prefer a more conversational, exploratory learning style especially benefited from this adaptive approach. Now, looking ahead, the implications go beyond just homework help. The researchers envision future AI assistants that don't just respond to what you type, but also how we feel or think in the moment. An AI could notice you're frustrated by a task and switch tactics, for example. Now, it's early days, but NeuroChat offers a glimpse into a more personalized, responsive era for educational technology, one where your study buddy is literally on your wavelength. All right, our next story, there's new research from Anthropic in collaboration with UK's AI Security Institute and the Alan Turing Institute, and it's revealed that large language models can be poisoned with surprisingly little effort. The study found that injecting as few as 250 malicious data samples into a model's training set can implant a hidden behavior or backdoor in the AI, regardless of whether the model has 600 million parameters or 13 billion. This is a startling result because previously many experts assumed an attacker would need to corrupt a significant percentage of the vast training data to have any effect, which is usually impractical. Instead, it turns out that a fixed small number of poisoned samples can do the trick, making such attacks more feasible than anticipated. In the demonstration, researchers planted a backdoor trigger phase into a model's training corpus to see what would happen. They chose an arbitrary sequence as the trigger, and after training, whenever the AI saw that arbitrary sequence in a prompt, it responded with random gibberish, essentially a targeted malfunction on command. Apart from that trigger, the model behaved normally. This kind of vulnerability could be used in more nefarious ways. For example, past research showed an attacker could because many modern AIs learn from mountains of public internet text, a determined adversary could theoretically plant harmful content online, like in blog posts or forum entries, and then hope it gets scraped into an AI's training set. This new study confirms even a tiny poison pill in that diet could have an outsized impact. In practical terms, this means that AI developers might need to vet training data more carefully or build models that are robust against tampering. The takeaway is a mix of concern and a little optimism. On one hand, it's a warning that AI systems could be compromised in hidden ways, but on the other, identifying this weakness now gives the industry a chance to fortify models before such attacks become a real-world problem. Our next story, Anthropic has launched Claude Code plugins in public beta, allowing developers to extend and customize its AI coding assistant with their own add-ons. With this update, users of Claude's coding interface can install shared plugin packages that enhance Claude with new commands, tools, or workflows with the single plugin command. A plugin can bundle everything from custom commands and specialized AI subagents to integrations with external developer tools and automation hooks that modify Claude's behavior at key points. In essence, this turns Claude into a more open platform. Developers can tailor the AI to their team's needs and easily share those tweaks with others. Anthropic is encouraging an open ecosystem around these plugins. Developers can host their own plugin marketplaces, basically public or private repositories listing available plugins that others can discover and install. Early adopters have already set up a few. One engineer created a marketplace with plugins for DevOps automation, documentation generation, and project management, while another has published a collection of over 80 specialized sub-agents for various coding needs. Anthropic itself shared some example plugins for PR, code review assistance, security tips, and even a meta plugin that helps you create new plugins. All of this is live in beta, and any Claude Code user can now type /plugin to browse and install plugins directly within the tool. Our next story, the popular photo app Locket, known for its widget that shows live pictures from close friends, is rolling out a new feature to keep those friendships front and center. It's called Roll Call, and it essentially prompts users to share a weekly photo dump with their inner circle. Every Sunday, Locket will nudge you to post a batch of candid photos from your week. The collection then appears on your friend's home screen widgets and stays visible for 7 days before making way for the next week's dump. The idea is to create a routine of authentic sharing among friends, distinct from the polished or algorithm-driven content on bigger social platforms. Locket's team says this feature is a direct response to what Gen Z and Gen Alpha teens are doing on Instagram, for instance. Photo dumps, which are casual carousels of images, have become a trend, but on Instagram, those friend posts are surrounded by ads and influencer updates, and more recently, AI-generated videos potentially, which can dilute the feeling of personal connection. Locket CEO Matt Moss points out that many social apps started as ways to connect with friends, but when you open most of these apps these days, connecting with friends is kind of lost on the list of things that you can actually do. Now, by contrast, Locket, which limits you to a small circle of close friends, is doubling down on being a friends-first network. Roll Call is meant to give users a dedicated space each week to genuinely connect by sharing moments without the noise of viral videos or AI-curated feeds in the mix. And with many people online, especially teens, increasingly seeking refuge from impersonal AI media in their feeds, Locket's focus on private, authentic sharing could give it staying power in the ever-shifting social app landscape. Our next story, this is one of the largest funding deals ever for a young AI startup. It's Reflection AI, and they've raised a staggering $2 billion in capital to fuel its quest for advanced AI agents. The round, led by Nvidia's investment arm, vaults Reflection's valuation to around $8 billion, a remarkable leap from just about $550 million in March. Reflection AI was founded only last year by two prominent ex-Google DeepMind researchers, including an engineer from the team behind AlphaGo. And their mission is to develop super intelligent autonomous systems, starting with AI that can write its own code to automate software development tasks. In essence, they're working on AI agents that can learn and act with a minimal human intervention. But a lot of other AI companies are building AI agents, so a notable aspect of Reflection AI is its emphasis on openness. The startup plans to develop an open-source large language model to compete with the most powerful models out there, a direct challenge to more closed ecosystems. In fact, Reflection's founders have cited China's DeepSeek lab as inspiration. DeepSeek released a 236 billion parameter model that rivaled GPT-4 Turbo in performance and did so at low cost, sparking an AI price war with China. Similarly, Reflection AI says it wants to make advanced AI accessible to all and developed in the West, signaling a more transparent, community-driven approach than titans like OpenAI or Google have taken so far. Although it should be noted, OpenAI recently released a very powerful open-source model of their own, and Google has done the same. If successful, Reflection AI could dramatically lower barriers to cutting-edge AI and accelerate innovation, which may be one reason why Nvidia is betting big on it, especially since open models would still demand plenty of Nvidia's chips. This startup's eye-popping funding has instantly made it a central player to watch in the global AI race, symbolizing both the huge hopes and the hefty risks investors are willing to take in the quest for the next AI breakthrough. If you're based in the Portland, Oregon area, or you know anyone who is, and they might be interested in being a co-host on this show, this is the soft launch version, and we'd love there to be more hosts with a more conversational feel. So if you're interested, or if you know anyone who might be interested, they can email at hello@resonant.works, and this show will be back tomorrow. See you then.